Hello, this is Joseph King Atiyia. I am super excited to see you once again with this journey of great men or greatness. My job is to train great men around the world. And, I have a dream that families will not be broken anymore. There'll be unity, there'll be love, there'll be great children, there'll be great communities and great nations. All right. So today I want to speak about a few things, like 12 things that will help you have a good relationship. All right. So, a good relationship, you are dating or you in marriage. These are 12 simple things that you really can consider, and it's going to help you fix, spice up your relationship. All right. The first thing is this: if you want your relationship or your marriage to work, you want to start by including God. It always surprises me how people start something that God created without God and then expect it to work. It will not work. All right. So don't expect anything to work if you exclude God out of it. You want your relationship to work, you want your marriage to work. Number one, include God in it. All right. The second thing is this: deal with your personal issues. When you come in a relationship, you are not just coming on your own. You are bringing your past, especially if you don't deal with it. So make sure you deal with your past. Make sure you deal with your issues. All right. When you were single, don't try to make your next pay for your ex. All right. That's not fair and that's not good. You wouldn't want that either. All right. The next one is this: learn to listen to your partner. It's not weakness. Yes, I know sometimes, especially with ladies, they have a way they express an idea. They could be saying a right thing, but the way they're saying it, it makes you like, nah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that at all. But learn to listen to your partner. So sometimes people listen to people like partners. You're listening to your partner, you're not really listening. You are formulating your phrases, your defense. All right. So you're listening to something, whereas you're ready to speak. You already got all your defending structured, well phrased. So that's not good. Also, when you listen, actually learn the skill of listening to somebody, trying to get where is a person coming from, what is he trying to say. uh People don't always think like you, your partner don't always think like you, and your thinking, though, your approach is not the only approach. So learn to listen. Another thing is study your family, study the person's family patterns. All right. um and observed those patterns very closely. It's very hard to change someone who comes from, let me think of an example, like someone who comes from a very abusive family. When you marry someone like that, um, they have certain things that they've dealt with, maybe like trust issues or, things like that. So you need to work with them. Be careful of certain things you say, how you say it, some actions or some reactions. Be very careful. So study the family patterns and try to work with that person. It will help you build a very stable and good relationship or marriage. Another one is this: stop involving everybody with your personal marriage issues or relationships issues. Now, what I'm not saying is trying to fix it on your own. No, in every season, God will always send you the right people, trustworthy, and you can speak to them. They can help you genuinely without blowing trumpets behind your back. So when you find those people, you can share with them. They will help you through the process. But don't not. I see it all the time. Some people will have problems with their relationships or marriage. They go on Instagram or all these platforms. They start posting memes and like trying to tell the guy, hey, wake up, do your thing, like throwing shades, right? Don't do that. That's not happening because everybody will kind of like, well, not everybody, but people that know you, they can kind of like guess what's going on, and it's not mature. Not every problem need to be told to everybody. There's a way to go about it. All right. Um, Another point is asking for forgiveness and forgiving. Forgiveness and forgiving is very crucial in a relationship. You want things to work, you need to learn the art of forgiving and asking for forgiveness. Some people just don't ask for forgiveness no matter what they do. They believe if you love flowers, I'll get you flowers, and that's my way of saying forgiveness. No. Forgiveness is very powerful. So when you messed up, when there's something that you did wrong, go and ask for forgiveness. All right. You need to take actions with a heart full of humility. That's very profound. That things must not always go your way. You kind of compromise with humility. Sometimes you need to lose to gain. You gotta have the heart of humility with a compromising spirit so that the relationship can work and the marriage can work. Another point is replacing overthinking with constant communication. Now, overthinkers, hey, you're listening to me. All right, things should not just work based on your thought process, how you're thinking it. You jump into conclusions without asking questions. You just add two and two together. That means, wow, this is that. That means he did this because of that. No. All right. Ask questions. There's something I noticed I don't understand. What did you do? What does this mean? Ask questions. And when you ask questions, do not expect the person to give you an answer that you are thinking. All right. So let the person give you answers. And if you still don't understand the answers that he's giving you, ask more questions. All right. Don't be so quick to jump into conclusion of things that it's not even that. Or your assumptions or your intuitions and all these kind of things, they're not always right. You are not God, you're a human being. It's influenced by different scenarios and different realities and stuff like that. So ask questions, learn to communicate. The more you communicate, the better you get in terms of comprehension, and you synchronize your ideas together. You start growing and building something much better together. All right. The other one is self control. We all have feelings, emotions, but how we express them really do matter. It displays if you're mature or you're immature. It displays if your relationship or marriage will last longer or you're just breaking it. Sometimes we break these things, relationships and marriages without even knowing. Um, you are Mr. or Mrs. Anger. Once you're angry, you say anything you like, anytime, anyhow, uh, without thinking that that's actually hurting somebody, you know, and they can create a lot more bad thoughts and ideas, you know, and trust issues and things like that. So self controls with your emotions, with your actions and reaction. For example, if you know you get angry very bad, I mean everybody gets angry very bad anyway. I've never seen someone that gets angry good so far. But if you know that you're very aggressive, you short tempered, create a system. For example, once you get angry, don't speak, just leave the place, excuse yourself and leave the place. All right, so that you don't say things that you're going to regret later, or do things that you're going to regret later. Another thing is this: structure your financial life. Believe me, finances is very important in a relationship or a marriage or in the house, at home. You need to structure your financial life. You need to know how much are you making, what are your debts, how are you going to pay them, what are your streams of income. Um, you know, um, you need to be very strategic and structure these things. I always tell people it's wise to have more than 5 streams of income. Now, streams of income is not salary, streams of income. All right. I'm not here to teach about that. Again, there's a book, there's a lot of books. You need some of our books. You can reach out to us, email us. We'll send you the books, and we do consultations and all these kind of things. Just reach out to us. But structure your financial life, because the more you neglect your financial life, it will catch up with you. You won't have time to spend together. You'll always be busy, and your children will not gonna experience you, spend more time with you. And there's a lot of depression, anxieties, and pressure about finance and bills and things like that. So structure your financial life. A next point is structure your sex life. You need to be very strategic, based on your belief, based on your personal experiences. Speak. This is a partner that you're gonna stay with for the rest of your life. So there's no taboo there. Speak about these things, and have a common synchronized path that you're gonna deal with these things. All right. Sex is actually a blessing. It's actually a worship to God. Those of you believers, worship is not just musical songs. Anything done to God with the good intention, with the Spirit of God, aligned with the Word of God, it's actually an act of worship. I know the devil nowadays is bringing all these things everywhere on our devices and with young kids and things like that, just to take them away from the actual purpose of the thing, and to mess up with their life and live with regret, addiction, and all those kind of things. But structure these things in your marriage, and if in a relationship, these are things to speak about and have a clear boundary, a clear structured. And if you have more needs of books and things like that, reach out to us on email. We will send you some of these things, or if you need a session, we are there to help everybody out there. And another problem is silent treatment. It won't help you. When you're mad, you just quiet, you start acting up and things like that. This will break a relationship. It's not going to help a relationship. It's not going to help marriage. When you have a problem, speak about it. Sometimes learn what to say, when to say, and how to say. All right. Don't come with an attitude and expect a good answer. No, you need to master that art. Self-control. Remember, I spoke about that. All right. Um, and the last one that I want to speak about today is try not to use your partner's past against yourself, against himself. Does that make sense? Against him. um, when someone does something, you bring his past, you say, "Oh, wow, but you did this in 1933, you did this, the 11th of July in 1965, this is what you start bringing old records against the person. That really breaks your partner, it breaks him. And it kind of like, well, I can't tell you more now, because whenever there is an argument or there is a misunderstanding, you're going to bring those things against me again. Now, here's a way to think about it. If God has forgiven you, if God has had restored you, who are you not to share the same grace, not to share the same forgiveness, and look at people as brand new creatures who are trying to build a family, who are there to build something with you? You are not perfect yourself. So be a person that extends grace and expands the love of God. You're a great man. I hope you have a great day building your relationship and your marriage. If you need more sessions, you need more books and things like that, kindly reach out to us. We are there to help people in this journey of greatness, building great men, focusing more on men, but also building great women out there. I believe in you, great man. I believe in you, great woman.